Broads Media.
What are we doing here? We're blowing double-digit leads to a Band-Aid Memphis Grizzlies team at home in the fourth quarter, coming off of a brutal loss to the Brooklyn Nets, who blow as well. And I'm sorry, I'm not just going to hide behind the fact that, well, Kyle Lowry wasn't available, or Tyrese Maxey's going through that concussion protocol, or no Joel Embiid. If we have any chance of being anything when those guys are available, there should be enough on this roster to beat that Memphis team. When you have 12-point leads late into a game, that's a disgrace. Tobias Harris was pitiful once again. I'm sick and tired of Kelly Oubre, even though he scored a decent amount of points. He's not very efficient, okay? Paul Reed can't stay on the floor because he's fouling out in 20-plus minutes of action. And by the way, he's out shooting Tobias and playing 11, 12 minutes less than Tobias. Paul freaking Reed is contributing more offensively in a significantly less amount of time than Tobias Harris. This cannot continue. This cannot happen. What a gross performance by this basketball team. Honestly, the game ended as soon as I started my show on WIP, and I wasn't really even planning on talking about them that much because, well, as I was preparing my show, they had a nice, comfortable lead. We have to get into the Jason Kelce stuff. The Flyers were making trades, Zach Wheeler's contract extension. But the game wrapped up essentially as I was going live, and there was so much fire in my belly. What does Jonathan Gannon say? There's some fire in your gut. Well, I had fire in my gut, and I totally sort of maneuvered through my show prep and say, you know what? Screw it. People are leaving the Wells Fargo Center. I'm aggravated. I'm pissed off. Let it rip. And I just needed, 15, 20 minutes to express how much I can't stand this basketball team. And then I got home around 3 a.m. and I wanted to do it again for here on Broads Media. And I'm like, you know what? Let me sleep it off. Let me get a cup of coffee in the morning and then just wake up and do it when I get an opportunity. And that's where I am right now. But I fell asleep thinking I hate this basketball team. I fell asleep thinking I need another 30 minutes or so to rant because I can't stand watching just a disgraceful effort. You have 10-day contract dudes outperforming max contract guys. That is totally unacceptable. And Tobias, I'm sorry, but this whole lack of confidence thing, he's not as bad as he's playing, which I am a huge, huge defender of. I say it all the time. He's not a bad basketball player. He's playing bad basketball. Well, you can only hide behind that for so long. Now it's time to get your head out of your ass, and it's not going to be one game against Charlotte that satisfies me. I need way more. I need a 7, 8, 9 game stretch. And look, I'm not demanding you to go into Boston short-handed, go put up 45 points and beat Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I'm not asking you to go to Milwaukee and single-handedly pour 40 points down the other team's throat and go beat Damian Lillard. That's not what I'm asking here. I'm saying when you have a 15-point lead, when you have a 12-point lead against a team that is essentially playing with nobody, win the damn basketball game. And if I can't hold you accountable to do that, then what the hell are we doing here? Then what do we have as a basketball team? Because it's outrageous that I can't rely on you to do that, to execute that. Dare I tell you what Tobias did in this basketball game? Okay, 3 of 12. 3 of 12, and he had 3 assists. He can't make a bunny to save his life. I've never seen an NBA player miss as many shots around the rim as Tobias Harris does, and he finishes with 3 assists. And hear me out for a second, right? Not that he's a specimen in regards to facilitating by any means, but if you're off your game, and if it's not really falling your way, and if things are getting difficult, I would like to think that maybe you can adjust and help your team in other ways. Hey, it's not my night. Hell, it's not my 2 weeks. Maybe I can help out this team by fighting on the glass, right? Getting some massive, important rebounds. There's been some games throughout this most recent run of disgusting Tobias Harris where he's not even grabbing a defensive rebound all game long. all game long. He's not doing a damn thing all game long. That's impossible. So I wish I could see fight in other areas. Hey, I didn't have my best scoring touch, but I finished with 7, 8 assists. I helped out Kelly Oubre. I helped out others. But he's just all or nothing, and it's nothing consistently more than it's anything. And that is so problematic right now. I sit here, and I get so aggravated. Turnover, sloppiness. What was that fourth quarter? You're not going up against the all-team defensive squad. You're not facing the best to ever do it on the defensive end here. So please, can we get sharper down the stretch, even without some guys? They didn't have Ja Morant. They didn't have guard play. They're throwing guys around the wing. That's unacceptable. That's as bad of a regular season loss as you can find. And I really hope that we don't have a lot of this fan base going, ho-hum, what are we supposed to do anyway? We don't have any talent. Stop! Stop! They are responsible for this. I'm sorry. At some point, I have to draw a line. I can't pretend like all of this means absolute nothing forever. So you're good enough to build a double-digit lead against Memphis. I'm acknowledging that. If you're good enough to win that basketball game, if you're good enough to have a double-digit lead to that point against that basketball team, then the bar is set to complete the mission. No matter if I saw these two basketball games or not, even if the Sixers would have won this game, I still would be confused on what version of basketball you're getting when everybody is healthy. I just think it's too much to ask to have everybody rocking and rolling, playing their best hoops. And I don't even know if they're going to be playing a play-in at this particular time. Maybe we see a situation where they don't even get to a first round, a real legit first round, because, well, Joel Embiid's out of shape. He's a little rusty. He's trying to incorporate Buddy Hield, Tyrese Maxey, this and that. Tobias, well, things change because everyone is so focused on Embiid. Embiid's presence, he's the anchor of your defense, and you run everything offensively through him, basically. So just because the attention is we can't have Joel Embiid beat us, then the floor opens up for Tobias, and there's more space for him to operate because, as we can see, when you ask him to do something alone, he can't at all. He can't beat anybody. He's not creating any separation. There's nothing that's special with him when he has the ball. Sometimes I'd be able to watch him use his size on a matchup advantage and use his body to create leverage. I can't see him doing any of that right now. So I'm just hoping and praying that the organic spacing of Embiid, Maxey, Kyle Lowry, just what they provide gives Tobias a free range to go and to shoot and to have spacing. But here's the issue. When they played the Boston Celtics, he was so piss poor that he was getting Ben Simmons treatment. Go ahead, Tobias, take those shots because he can't actually make them. And if he can't execute, then who cares if they swing the ball around the perimeter because they double team Joel and then the ball finds Tobias, because he's going to let it fly and it'll be a fat brick. All right, laying bricks for 48 minutes. Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's been one of the most miserable seasons I can remember. And, you know, whenever there's something that makes me feel good again, it was a nice win. Remember that win against Cleveland when Cleveland was on a 9-game win streak or so? You're on the road. You don't have a lot of your top guys. It's a good feel win. Whenever they do some good feel win, hey, they beat Dallas in the afternoon on a big primetime game, and, you know, Tobias Harris has a stretch. Everyone's like, whoa, Tobias on the main stage. Tobias with the lights shining bright. Who would have thought? And then it just comes crashing down when reality hits that they can't beat the Memphis Grizzlies when they have a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. It is so sickening. It makes me want to cry. It truly does.